In our first installment of Life on the Farm, presented by the ag experts at Fox Valley Technical College, our contributor Jeremy Hansen introduces us to one young man who is making an investment at a very early age with the goal of taking over his family farm.
Well, hello, this is Jeremy Hansen, and today I am at Schaumburg Ranch near Seymour, Wisconsin, and I have the pleasure of talking with Eric Schaumburg. And in all honesty, I've known Eric since he was in grade school and worked with the farm for many years, and he's a little older now. And the question why is, ask Eric, you're not 25 yet, and you own this combine behind us, and why do you own a combine?
Um, well, I've always wanted to be on the farm ever since I was little, growing up, probably right when you started knowing me. And when I got out of high school, I went to a year down in the Madison area for an agriculture course at University of Madison. And once I got back that, we came back to the farm, or I came back to the farm, and I started talking to my dad about ways that I can, help on the farm, start buying into the farm. And ask some questions. What makes a successful farm? I mean, my dad's been running this farm successfully for over 30 years now. What makes that farm be so successful? And the one thing that he said, and he might not think that I pay attention when he talks sometimes, what I do, was that he tries to keep everything in-house. So I took over, or looked over the entire farm and looked at things that, that we did by ourselves, and things that we didn't quite have the equipment to do yet. And the one lacking area was harvesting. So when I went back to my dad, I talked to him about this idea of, hey, what if I bought a combine and did the harvesting for you? That's one way to keep things in house. The more work that you do yourself, the more profitable you can be. And from there, that's I guess where we took off. And at the age of 19, I bought my combine. I ran it for a year, and after that, my brother bought a semi and a Timke hopper to haul grain for me, and between the two of us, we have, been doing it for the last 4 years very successfully.
So in that conversation with your parents, or your dad specifically, what other role did he talk about of why owning a combine would probably be a good thing? Maybe not today, but besides the harvesting, but in the future as well.
Well, my dad, a farm is a very big, broad area. There's a lot of things to own a farm that you need. You need land, you need animals, you need buildings, and you can't just jump into it all at once. Over years, as you build up, you start buying equipment here, cattle here. Slowly and surely, you can build your way up to taking over the farm eventually when my parents want to retire. Right now is not that time, but over the next years, as I, keep growing and growing, that's kind of the idea of being able to get in and start owning machinery and owning, my own stuff to hopefully one day take over this farm and to be able to pass it straight on to my kids one day. That's the ultimate goal.
Wonderful. It sounds like a great plan. So behind us again is your combine, and it wasn't new when you bought it. How many acres did you combine the first year that you owned this?
The first year I started off, and I didn't really set a goal. I started off, and I believe I did a little over 850 acres is what I did. And, years 2 and 3, I slowly started to grow. Now last year would be in my third year, I did 1,700 acres with just word of mouth. And, I think I do a good job, and that's the most important part. Do a good job. People will tell your name around, and that's what I think I do.
So Eric, how did that work for the investment that you made? I mean, expensive machine. It wasn't new when you bought it, but do you owe any money on it right now?
Right. No, the thing is completely paid off for. Looking at that investment as a 19-year-old, yeah, my eyes got very, very big. But I'm glad that, I had that conversation with my dad and, did what I did and stuck my neck out there and got into the custom harvesting business because I truly love it. You can't find a happier Eric than me out in the combine. I'm all smiles.
So wonderful. Now, behind us is a field that you've already started to combine, and looks like things are going pretty well. Do you have any first impressions of the first wheat that you combined this year?
Well, my expectations coming in this year, weren't the best. We had a very tough winter with winter kill, and there's not a lot of wheat out there. which is a problem for a lot of farmers. We were fortunate enough to have some higher land that wasn't quite as wet this spring as other land. And, you know, the wheat has really shown and been very, very good because of that.
Okay, well, thank you, Eric. Again, this is Jeremy Hansen for Life on the Farm, Seymour, Wisconsin.